Welcome back to Disc and Balls Golf Channel, where today we're covering the 40th annual Victoria Open from Victoria, Texas. We're covering Fox's Bend, round 2 chase card action. This was the results of yesterday's round. Mason Ford taking the lead, and we'll be covering Sam DiCarlo, GT Hancock, Raven Newsom, and Fredy Meza. Special thanks to Golden Crescent Disc Golf Club in Victoria, Texas, Mint Discs with their Heart of Texas tour, and One Star Disc Golf. Coming to you with commentary, I'm Robert Henson.
I'm Christian West.
And we're getting right back into hole 1. So it is 345 feet, par 3, somewhat low ceiling. There is a wide line left that you'll see people take that kind of eliminates the ceiling, but you have to swing it wide. Today's wind is coming right to left, maybe a little bit of a tailwind. That might make forehands a little more challenging to get back to the basket. And we jump right into it. Sam DiCarlo already throwing forehand. Like we mentioned, not quite back to the basket. Unfortunate from GT. Next up, Raven Newsom.
And that's really just a great flex forehand line from Raven. That's what you want to see most of the time.
Thank you.
I think that pink one with the blue rim is a photon. It might be a fission photon, but I'm pretty sure it's a photon for sure. Next up, Fredy Meza.
That one was really close to the other end.
Tons of people cheering for that one. That would have been an amazing way to start the day. GT with a pretty standard forehand approach. Sam here, probably from about, I don't know, 45, 50.
Come on, give me some lift.
Just couldn't make it there that time.
Fredy inside a circle. Pretty nice way to start. His spin putt is pretty wild. It's just so consistent, even in the wind. It's not as windy as yesterday at Patriot, but it's still significant. Still plays a role.
Yeah, there's definitely still a lot of wind play out there for sure.
Raven getting bamboozled by that janky, rickety truck. That doesn't affect him too much. GT for the par. And it seems we missed Sam's finish, but hole number 2 is a par 4, 578-foot hole. Kind of walked myself into a corner. There's 2 major lines, one to the right, one to the left. The left one kind of opens up a little tunnel. The right one, you'll see a lot of people get it out to about here, and then you got to find a gap. Find a gap, hit your gap. And ideally, once you get through this little kind of line that the drone is having trouble with, you should get yourself up to here, round circle. I mean, circles, these trees are inside the circle, so you could have an obscured putt or obstructed putt even in the circle. I think it's that photon again from Raven.
And there are those trees.
Fredy wastes no time. Honestly, there wasn't even much time on that. That wasn't my edit. That was the camera thing, because he gets up there and throws right away.
Yeah, these guys know what they want to do a lot of the time, so we got to be ready.
I think this might be a Heimberg Destroyer from Sam. A little bit low. GT's turns over a little bit, but that distance is solid. That's the more you can bite off on this hole, the better you're off you're going to be, generally speaking.
Right, and there's actually an over-the-top route on that side as well.
You see a fair number of spike hyzers and even thumbers from some of the locals. Oops, not ideal from Sam. That sneaks.
Oh my god.
Another Fredy Meza basket flash for you.
GT, often no man's land by the looks of where the camera's covering from, but gets to that right side. I think he got caught in those bushes there. That's definitely inside circle. I think this might be an entropy from Raven.
Oh boy. Got it.
Sam with the forehand, his third. It looked awful, and it sneaks through.
Came out all right.
Yeah. It's not the way you want to approach this basket.
Nice run from Raven.
Close.
Yeah, that's that looked like over 60.
Oh, for sure.
GT here for birdie. Very nicely done.
Very nice.
Fredy has like a spinny straddle. He doesn't do a stagger stance. It's always straddle, but
And it's on a line.
it is. Easy par, or relatively easy for Sam. All right, hole number 3, tricky, 285 feet. This little vine's knowing, and it's a narrow gap. Generally, a left to right, like a slight left to right line is ideal. You can get the forehand to flex down the tunnel, and all this right side it's slightly less high now that it's winter, but that's all tough to play from.
Yeah, you do not want to end up over there.
Fredy, nice little turnover.
More high.
Maybe a little too turned over.
Going.
Raven calling for it to go in, but it's a solid 40 short.
That's what you get for not practicing this course, boys.
A rookie move. Not practicing before. I mean, it's not a difficult course.
It can sneak up on you.
It definitely can, and really, there's certain little niche holes like this one.
Yeah, Raven just working that forehand, even going past the basket.
Yeah, that's pretty rare on this hole. But yeah, there's certain holes where like you would love to go in with a strategy instead of just kind of winging it and hoping to hit a gap. Sam here. I have no idea what he's throwing.
Oh my god, Cubic on the plate is so good.
A bit short. Significantly short. More than I thought. So tough to get some of the camera work as far as, you know, you don't want to be right on the basket, but, you know, on a hole like this, you can lose it shortly off the tee or a little bit farther. That's actually not a bad bid from Sam. Fredy, slightly more reasonable, I think. Oh, there's the basket.
Yeah, got to find a little footing over there, though.
Yeah. That's that high grass that's fortunately dead in winter. Or at least more dormant. Oh, great bid. GT seeming. Actually, I was gonna say seeming nervous, but like he just takes deep breaths before all of his putts. It seems like.
Just lining up his composure.
Yeah. And
That was that tailwind.
yeah, that left to right, it just pushes down that hyzer putt that he has. Raven pacing it out. Just outside circle. How convenient. He putts with anodes, which is a putter that I used for a while. Very straight. Maybe turns over a touch in a nasty headwind, which, you know, maybe it's my any putt, but very straight putter. I mean, especially from inside of 40. Just like that.
As advertised.
Fredy with his easy tap in par. Should be relatively simple pars for the rest of the card. Two here's a good one. Yeah, it's one that not everyone's gonna get. All right, hole 4 is a must get. I mean, if you're making par here, you're leaving one on the table. It's 279 feet. It's right in front of you. I think a straight flying mid-range or putter is probably best. Left to right wind is going to hold something straight, you know, instead of letting it hyzer out. And there is a little ditch to the right. This forehand here is not what I would play.
Yeah, you gotta be. That's a bold move right there.
Yeah. And that's the problem is like anything moving hard to the right is going to get down that hill and do skippy things for you.
In no time, quick.
Fredy decides to go with the Bobcat. It's a great disc. I think he might get better results.
Not quite as skippy.
Backhand, yeah. And again, down there with Raven. GT's going backhand, it looks like. I like that line. I think it might be an A3 or something. Overstable, but not crazy overstable, but pretty decent approach.
Just enough to fight off that left to right, I think.
Yes, definitely. Sam going backhand here.
Oh, good throw.
And looks a little early. It's a bit short too.
Scary putt coming up.
Yeah, the tailwind helps for, you know, because it probably won't get down the hill if it goes long, unless you just nuke it over the top. But that's probably not going to happen in this tailwind. And yeah, that's about what we would expect on that. I mean, the tailwind is dramatic, especially putting wise. Like Fredy here, you know, with his spin putt could float. Not bad.
Good height, dude. Everyone's good.
Raven from a similar position. Not optimal. That putt is brutal without a headwind.
Yeah, and then throwing up at it, just added insult.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll happen. Lovely shot of the Guadalupe behind him, though. Sam, a stress-free par. Can't exactly say the same for Raven, potentially. Nicely done.
Oh. That was a really hard shot.
Raven's a character. Some of his commentary had me cracking up. GG, nice birdie.
Excellent birdie.
Hole number 5 is very short at 207 feet, maybe the shortest on the course. There are two main routes, one to the left here and one to the right. The right one's pretty straight with a little fade at the end being the best for the right-hand backhand. This line here that the drone is taking is pretty common for a forehand, like overstable forehand approach, something like that. Zone or the like. GT going with the backhand line. And perfectly executed.
Right off the tree.
Very friendly tree kick there. Looks like Raven's taking the forehand line with the overstable. Oh.
A little unlucky there.
Yeah, that was a small little branch that got that. Fredy with the straight line. And it's so easy to do.
So easy.
I swear.
Either which way you choose, farmhand or backhand, that's going to be in play.
Yeah. The line looks good. Yeah, well done by Sam. That's a great little landing spot. There's an area. It's quick putt from Fredy, little jumper. Raven. Those trees are like 45 or so. And yeah, that anode is so straight, it's not going to fight back against that left to right wind. Fredy with the par. Very nicely done. He's tall enough that
He's just staring right at the
yeah.
isn't he?
Hopefully less of a lift in that headwind. I was thinking, it's like Mason's height normally.
Oh man,
That's a little messed up. Oh, beautiful putt there. Nice birdie. Raven for his par. Nicely done. I'm going GT. Shouldn't miss this one. Yep. All right, moving on to hole 6. 303 feet. Plays through this gap here. It's pretty straight. Again, you want maybe a little bit of fade at the end, probably a fairway. With this left to right wind, you might need something a little more stable. There is a bunch of sand that surrounds this basket that catches your disc, so you don't really have to worry about a weird uphill skip. And that's pretty beneficial if you can hit that area. Makes the disc just stay there. Puts you within 20 feet, I think. GT asking for it to get left.
All of a sudden, we just got like
The wind
no
is
wind.
completely
I know. I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck?
Like last hole, that was the most wind I've ever played it on this course.
Sam, it looks like that, I think that's a Heimberg Destroyer. I wasn't 100% sure, so I didn't put it on the overlay. And a little short and a little left.
Raven just leaving it a little low on that one.
Yeah. Fredy. I don't think I've seen this disc yet this round. That line is nice.
That looks really good.
Nice toss.
And that'll do it.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Raven not using his overstable, which was more of a pink with a reddish rim, I think. That should make par, though. Sam hiding out in the trees.
Just playing some shade golf.
Yeah, that's Texas disc golf right there. Just stay in the sun,
If you're
or
lucky.
stay out of the sun. Maybe not today. It was kind of chillier.
Yeah, it was actually pretty chilly for this round.
Just a little bit low. GT from close to 50, I think. Up the hill. Can't see the basket. Oh,
Wow.
ah, man, that was fantastic. Oh, let's get a slow-mo replay here. Beautiful.
That's what you like to hear right there.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Definitely getting a stroke on most of the card. Fredy probably won't miss this. Yeah, exactly. Pretty, yeah, downwind putt, downhill putt from, what, 12, 13 feet?
Yeah, it was right outside bullseye range.
Good putt from Sam. So, hole number 7 has a Mando right off the tee. And OB left of those pylons. You have an assortment of trees that want to ruin your day. This is probably the hardest hole on the course for the MPO. There's a second Mando. That little guy, I wouldn't worry about that little guy because generally speaking, it's not going to be in play. Low ceiling most of the way. And then a little bit slopey green. Like if you get long, it can skip a little bit. But it's pretty much everything leading up to the green that's the problem here. GT, decent looking line. Yep.
Good work with that.
Yeah, originally editing the footage, I was like, man, you're a little bit back, way by the drop zone. But
Yep, and it's a pretty good spot.
yeah. Turns out for MPO, that did stay in, by the way. So Fredy with
I don't know if you've seen us out.
probably the easiest approach you're ever gonna see on this hole. Distance and complication wise. Sam right down the middle looks pretty good.
Not too bad.
I think this is a mid range from Raven.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it just gets off of that tree and it's right in the middle.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, exactly. About 330 from Sam.
Come on. Get in.
That's actually super well executed.
That was a great upshot. Great approach.
The light one. Yep.
This is a wild look. Raven being startled by random noises from the course. Another one as he's throwing.
That's that. Get in.
Excellent flex forehand.
That's a couple of those he's thrown this 9.
Yeah, he knows how to throw those very well.
GT also going with forehand, it looks like. He hates it out of the hand.
But he
But
likes it where it lands.
yeah. Kind of worked itself out. Fredy gets his meter off the OB. Pretty close. But he has a putter upshot. That is almost unheard of on this hole. That's nuts. Raven. Outside the circle if he's doing a little steppy deal. A little bit of rollaway action. Sam for his birdie. And airballs it. He actually ended up right next to GT there. They were right next to each other.
Oof, just off right of the basket.
Yeah, they end up next to each other again. Not ideal. Raven makes his par, very nice. Sam now for par. Maybe a little nervy with the wind. I mean, it can really mess with your confidence.
And it does whip out there. It'll pick up and drop and pick up and drop. It'll mess with you on the green.
Touch low. So that's an unfortunate bogey there. 3-putt bogey. GT. Hopefully not taking any notes from any of that. A little bit right. And so that'll be a bogey for him too. I mean, to have birdie and 2 bogeys, that's really not the worst on this hole. But moving on to hole 8, it's 420 feet and par 3, really tricky here. The main gaps, sometimes people take kind of a straight gap that fades out at the end. Forehand gap to the left here. If you can get something out to where the drone's flying over now, that's amazing. But a lot of people will kind of leave it left of the basket because it's safer. And anyway you slice it, it's a tough birdie.
Yeah, par 3, 420 feet, some tree play. Definitely not an easy get.
Fredy turns us over a little bit. Not the worst.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. I mean, anything you can find in that high stuff is pretty good. Raven rips one. That is nearly optimal. GT. The forehand with the left-right wind, if you can get it to flex out and ride, pretty good, but that one gets lifted. Sam also with forehand. And it's a little low, maybe turned over. Catches the tree early, it looks like. Kind of a weird camera angle. Nice overstable disc. And that's not bad.
Not bad at all. It was a good
Yeah,
approach.
even though that high grass is near the basket, it's all like pretty reasonable to putt from. The ground isn't too obnoxious.
Yeah, all the grass is matted down and makes for a pretty good staple spot to putt from.
GT hits that tree. That tree is in the circle. Probably has, I don't know, 20 something feet. But he might have to contend with the tree.
And Fredy got down there a little bit further than I thought he did, but he still has a look at the basket.
Yeah, it's really not. Anything where you have a decent birdie putt is pretty nice. Into that headwind, though. A little bit of lift, maybe. It hyzered out a bit earlier than expected, it seems. Raven at the edge of circle makes it. That's a fantastic putt. GT does have to straddle out. And that's a fantastic par. Oh, I guess we don't get to see Salmon for Freddie's finish. Hole number 9, 330 feet. You see a forehand a lot, especially with a right to left wind, because you can get it to hold the ante line. A straight shot is pretty popular too. There is a kind of a local play out over the road where you kind of throw it out there and let it skip back in.
Flirting with OB though. Long
Yes.
OB.
Oh, so Fredy did have a bogey. That's and we missed Raven's drive from the T-cam, so it's catch cam only. GT throws this into the ground, unfortunately.
Doesn't look like he likes that very much.
No. That looked really low out of Sam, but it gets there.
Just needs to sit down, and it does. Going for the dramatic finish.
Yeah. And Fredy taking the local line. Oh, nice little skip and roll.
And right in that little spot right there should be a nice little straightaway putt for him.
Yeah, I think that's inside of 25. GT using that green guy with the starts the 9 with the forehand and ends the 9 with the forehand. Approach wise, anyway. Raven, great putt. He's really moving pretty well on this front 9. Sam for his birdie. A little bit of wind and a little bit of nerves. You can see those little OB markers just flapping away behind him. Beautifully executed. I mean, the wind is going to push that putt down dramatically over the course of its flight from where he was at, and he makes the correction. Fredy with a great birdie. Really from that position, that he shouldn't be missing that. GT with the par. That concludes the front 9 of round 2 from the Victoria Open. 40th annual 2023. Sam DiCarlo only 1 under on the front 9, moves to -6. GT -3, and then Raven and Fredy -4 so far on the round, bringing them each to 8 under. Stay tuned for back 9 coverage coming up soon. Also, lead card coverage should be out eventually on Trail Candy on YouTube. As always, thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you on the course.